Good morning, Dr. Crosby and Dr. Sexton. I will start with the first question from chapter 7. As a special education teacher working with non-verbal middle grade students, I would choose focus groups as my preferred method for doing a need assessment. Why did I choose this? My students have very unique needs and they often communicate in the ways that are not verbal. To understand what's working and what's need improvement, I rely on the people who know them best like parents, paraprofessionals, therapists and general education teachers. A focus group lets us all come together, share ideas, and build on each other insights. I have used this approach before when I were updating the visual supports. We had a small group discussion with families and staff, and their feedback helped us to redesign materials that were clear and more flexible. It was a great way to make sure everyone's voice was heard. The book Every Teacher a Leader talks about how teacher leaders need to know how to gather input and guide decisions. Focus groups help me do the in the that feels collaborative and respectful. It's not just about collecting data. It's about building trust and working together. Next, I am moving to my elevator speech. Here is my elevator speech. At Snellville Middle School, we have created a learning environment where neurodiverse students are not just supported, they are celebrated. We use visual tools, flexible grouping, and creative ways for students to express themselves. Inclusion is not just a goal, it's a how we do things every day. Why I choose this message? Because it reflects what I am most proud of. Our school worked hard to make sure the students with different communication styles and learning needs feel like they belong. We do not just accommodate, we adapt. We listen and we grow with our students. For example, we have started using Lumio and video modeling to help students participate in classroom routines. Lumio allows us to create interactive lessons with visuals, drag and drop activities, and audio supports, making it easier for non-verbal students to engage meaningfully. We have also created a choice board to students can show what they know in different ways like drawing, typing or using pictures. These changes did not happen overnight. It comes from the conversation, trial and error and lot of teamwork. The book says teacher leaders should be able to share good news about their school in a clear and positive way. That is expected what I try to do in my elevator speech. It is not about numbers or test scores, it's about impact. It's about creating spaces where every student can practice, communicate, and grow. For the third question, what can school district leaders do to better support the teachers like me? One thing that I would make a big difference is giving us practice time to collaborate. As a special education teacher, we often need to work closely with general education teachers, speech therapists, pathologists, and instructional coaches. But with everyone's schedule packed, it's hard to find the time to sit down and plan together. I remember one week we were trying to get the collaborate with the students, but teachers we are unable to do because their schedule was packed. So we did that thing in the during the lunch time and after the school, which is not ideal. At least a 30 minutes in a week for the collaboration will more proactive and creative. Another way teacher leader can support us by recognizing teachers led innovation. When teachers try new strategies like using Wakelet to create and share visual supports, video modeling routines, or accessible lesson templates, it's important to acknowledge that work. It builds morale and encourages others to take risks and share ideas. The books talk about the leader should create conditions that support teacher leadership. That includes time, trust, and recognition. Support does not always mean more money or material. Sometimes it just means listening and showing that you value what teacher bring onto the table. Now I am jumping to the fourth one, professional learning day topic. If I had the chance to choose one topic for a professional learning day, I would choose designing accessible curriculum for neurodiverse learners. This is something I am really passionate about. Many teachers want to support students with disabilities, but they are not always sure about to adjust their lessons. A PD session on this topic could give practical tools like how to use tiered assignments, visual scaffolds, or multimodal expression options. In my classroom, we use color coded rubrics, simplified text, and flexible grouping. We also guide the students choice how they show their learning, whether it's through drawing, speaking, or using assistive technology. These strategies do not just help students with IEPs, they help everyone. The book says teacher leaders should help design professional level development that is used and inclusive. That is why I would choose this topic. It is something I use every day, and I think it would help other teachers to feel more confident who supporting diverse learners. If given the chance, I would love to collate the session like this, sharing example, listening to others, and building a toolkit together. Now, before I conclude, I want to say thanks for listening to my responses. I really enjoyed to reflect on these questions. They helped me think me more deeply about my role as a special education teacher and how I can keep growing. Not just my students, but for my colleagues and my school community too. I am looking forward to final shared leadership project and continue this journey with all of you. Thank you again. Thank you. See you next time.